What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here, man, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, that's gonna make us question everything. Seekers, sit back. We do best, seekers. Say it with me, y'all. I know what we do. Let's seek the truth.
Hey, y'all just crossed the line and I told y'all this was going to happen. They just said humanoid robots have successfully performed surgery for the first time in history. Isn't that just great? In the big 2026, we now have Dr. Terminator.
Now to a world first, humanoid robots stepping up to the operating table. They are guided by surgeons right now through real operations at UC San Diego, and researchers say this may be just the beginning. It has a nickname. It's called Surgi, and it's not like the robotic systems that are already in operating rooms if you've been in lately. Those are machines that require a lot of space. Surgi is smaller, like human size, and fits almost anywhere a person can, and that's the point. Researchers say robots like Surgi could one day be more common in hospitals.
Now, if surgery is more common, that means that there will be less doctors because they got replaced by robots. And I literally just told y'all, as AI keep progressing, you're going to start to see more jobs get replaced by these robots.
That is crazy, bro. You would think, bro, that these AI robots, they coming for the job markets, man. You would think surgeons' jobs, they would be safe, but they not even safe too. Bro, these robots, man, these AI systems are coming for everybody's jobs, bro. It's crazy out there, man. Oh, they done. Are those Yeezy slides?
Kylie knows better than almost anyone what it feels like to be filmed without knowing. She signed the Meta Glasses deal anyway, and when you see what this deal is worth, it starts to make sense. Kylie Jenner has spent years talking about the trauma of being filmed without consent, but now she's the face of a product designed to record people without them noticing. And it's not hypothetical. Meta Glasses have already been used to identify strangers' home addresses in real time using AI. The ACLU and 75 organizations signed an open letter calling Meta's facial recognition plans an unacceptable threat to public privacy. And in March this year, Meta was hit with a class action lawsuit after emerged workers were reviewing the footage captured by the users of the glasses, including private videos of people in bathrooms and more. Kylie was once worth $1 billion, and now she's at $670 million. Her sales under Cody are declining. Her fashion brand went from selling out in an hour to $650K a month, which might sound like a lot until you remember who we're talking about. And her drink brand Sprinter tried to rebrand into a wellness line, and the internet called it a nightmare. So when Meta came to her with a check, she said yes. And it's not a small check. A single Kylie Instagram post costs brands up to $5 million. This deal is a co-designed product, a royalty on every unit sold, an ambassador retainer, and her voice literally built into the glasses. Industry insiders put deals like this at $10 to $30 million minimum. And let's be honest, she's definitely bagging more than minimum. Then Kris Jenner takes her 10% and everyone goes home happy. It's a collaboration that raises real questions, but the business case is hard to argue with. And for the Kardashians, the business case always comes first.
That's crazy, man. Now you got a question, man, if you just walking by somebody with glasses, bro. If it's those Meta glasses, cover your face, man. You don't know what they're doing with that footage, bro. That's crazy. Kylie's billionaire status, like she said, she was a billionaire. She's worth $600 million. Is that why she signed the deal, bro? She trying to get that billionaire status back? Who knows? Definitely facing the wrong way.
This man has spent the last 16 days trying to kill a tick he found on his body. But despite drowning it, suffocating it, and even leaving it in the freezer for 24 hours, the tick refuses to die.
Good Lord, it lives. I fear that I have created an even stronger monster.
YouTuber Rusty Cage has so far submerged the tick in water for an entire week, hoping it would drown and die. And when it didn't, he decided, alright, let's try and suffocate it. So he placed it in a petri dish with oxygen-depleted water for 2 days. And right when you start to think, yeah, it's finally cooked, he began breathing on it. And as soon as that tick detected some carbon dioxide from a potential host, it came right back to life. But then, on day 15 of his survival experiments, he took it to the expected final stage, 24 hours in the freezer. Now, this seemed to actually do the trick because the tick appeared to be unresponsive and dead. But then he tried to revive it using heat radiation from lasers. And to his horror, yet again, bro was just in a cold coma, and it woke back up. But here's the scariest part. The reason this tick in particular is so unbelievably resilient is because of what species it is. The Lone Star is not only one of the toughest, but it's also one of the most aggressive ticks out there and is native to Canada, Mexico, and the USA. Oh, and if that wasn't bad enough, this is also the same species of tick which can sometimes make humans allergic to red meat if bitten. And today, they continue spreading across North America at an unprecedented rate.
Crazy work, man.
Whoa.
Oh, that's Bigfoot, bro. What the hell?
I haven't seen that.
No.
Dude, the tote bag.
You know, I'm the trader. I've been going in on Trader Joe. I was the first, well, me and you were some of the first guys to go in on Trader Joe.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I was like, wait, everybody's loving the tote bags. You guys know about the tote bag thing that's going on, right? At Trader Joe's, there's crazy long lines for these damn tote bags.
Why?
I don't know.
Wait, just like regular Trader Joe tote bags?
Yes, but they're like limited edition. I'll pull it up. This is crazy. Look,
Right.
you know what it kind of reminds me of? It's like the Stanley Cup. Remember the Stanley Cup craze a couple years ago?
I was thinking of the Starbucks cup.
Right.
You know, they were going
Fast
crazy.
food.
with
Those too.
Yeah, they were going crazy. with
Those
the
two.
Starbucks cup.
For some reason, I don't know. I think that these are like kind of socially engineered type of situations.
Operation Tote Bag.
I don't know. Like
It's just weird.
I just feel like they do certain things like that, do social engineer to distract, see how easily people are manipulated.
Damn, that's
to certain things like that because it's a tote bag.
right. That's cold. Cause
Yeah.
you mean to tell me they're gonna get in line for it?
Yeah.
Like that shit is weird, man. And I'm looking at everybody else like, why are y'all in line for a tote bag?
It's stupid.
They turned off the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, and now I see things out the corner of my eyes. I'm not crazy because I commented this somewhere else, and everybody, I mean numbers on the comment. Are you seeing things out the corner of your eyes? How many of us are doing this, or feeling this?
God is mentioned at the Grammys, or God is mentioned at the Oscars, or football games, basketball games, or when you get $100 million contract, I want to just thank God, because without God and my mom and my family, I mean, it's kind of it. They don't talk about God no other time publicly other than a big moment happening. And yet, people are worshiping the devil publicly all year long. The whole music video had devil worshiping in it. Y'all see this. Y'all see what's going on. So at the end of the day, man, I just had to really realize, like, wow, man, Denzel Washington does not do an interview on a red carpet or a sit-down interview. He does not do any interviews without at some point transitioning into talking about the goodness of God.
Noted, okay. Why is that car hair coming out her pipe? Damn, what the hell?
This right here was caught on video over South America. It's definitely a UFO because it's unidentified, it's flying, and it's an object, although it looks like some kind of light thing. Maybe ball lightning, but ball lightning is more crackly and lightning-ish. This is just like a ball energy, booskies. Shabadoo!
Alexa, Simon says, ah ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Alexa, stop!
There's a video.
You see how scared she got, bro? She was trying to glitch out Alexa head. She got what she wanted, bro. That was some eerie work, man. But Alexa was trying to laugh, bro. I personally, I don't have one of those, you know, things, man, because I don't trust it, but That was Area right there, bro.
Of Michael Jordan possibly proving he's a shapeshifter.
There's definitely some crazy stuff out there. Have you ever heard of the Michael Jordan theory? What's the Michael Jordan theory? Oh my God, this is one of the craziest conspiracies ever. First off, there's this video that's been going viral of Michael Jordan. We're like reaching for a loose ball, right?
Watch this. Ball goes up. Michael Jordan's there to get it. Look at his arm.
Damn.
That is not a human arm.
And then on top of that, people have started going back and reanalyzing some of the decisions that he made. Like after winning a back-to-back-to-back, decides to retire to go play baseball. Yeah, that was so strange, right? And then right after he retires, so people start digging into this and they think it was because Michael Jordan had a crazy gambling addiction, right? So people think that that decision was made because he owed some very powerful people some money. Some people believe he's not human because of the video with the arm thing. Photos of his hands have never been taken clearly. They're always out of focus and super blurry. People reported going to the stadium and seeing him sitting in the stands at 3 in the morning. Like some of the craziest stories ever, and people believe this guy can't be human.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per...
Telling you kids, don't come to Hollywood. I'm serious.
No, they eat babies. That is not bullshit. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood.
Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows? Neil Armstrong being the first man to walk on the moon? Talk about a fish story. Yeah. Man, and they're buying it. Okay. Yeah.
Jim Carrey and Eddie Murphy are two major personalities in comedy who you simply can't ignore. They aren't simply random celebs who chose to expose Will Smith for fun. These are two of the most influential people in comedy history. Jim Carrey virtually revolutionized what it meant to be a movie star in the 90s, with his over-the-top exuberance and willingness to be absolutely ludicrous. Meanwhile, Eddie Murphy was practically influencing comedy before Carrey was even recognized. Eddie Murphy, Delirious, Raw, all those stand-up specials transformed the game forever. These aren't bitter rivals attempting to garner attention. These are two guys who established empires on their own terms and had nothing to gain and nothing to lose by expressing what they said.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
I'm gonna tell y'all this because I love
You were spitting.
Okay? You have to get physical media. It is time right now to be collecting your physical media because we're about to enter a world where you will not own anything and you will subscribe to everything. You won't own music, you won't own movies, you won't own anything. And at the snap of anyone's finger, they can take it away from you. So this is the time to really buy physical media. Vinyls, CDs, video games. Get you a Wii console. I recently got me a Wii console. They cannot take that away from you. I own those things. I did not have to subscribe. I did not have to join anything. I did not have to put my credit card down for none of this stuff that I have. Right now is the time to get physical media.
Have you guys heard about Omar Odavi? This is him on this chair. Scientists are trying to study his blood type and the metal content in his blood because for whatever reason he attracts sea life. They don't know if it's mercury because he does have a high mercury count in his blood, but whenever he gets close to the ocean, animals are automatically attracted to him. They don't know if it's the magnetic field. They don't know what it is, but you can see here they were trying to do a control group study where there was another guy that went on the beach in this chair and nothing came, and he sits and all these sharks come, and you can see that there's some stingrays in there. It's quite incredible. I wish that, part of me wishes that I had this ability, but it does come with its downside. He has really poor circulation to his hands and his feet, so he constantly has to have them warmed and have heat pads on them. And Everest is out of the question because they would freeze off right away. But quite cool.
I want a peanut butter and jam sandwich and a glass of milk.
So this all happened at just after 3 o'clock this morning, so he's certainly been up there for some time, and he has been posting videos to social media. He's been saying that he's not coming down till taxes are paid. He also has asked for food to be delivered via drones, and we have actually seen a drone fly in the vicinity. Police say it is not theirs and are warning people not to fly drones while this major police operation is underway. So how he has actually managed to get on top of this 140-metre pylon, we believe it is through the access point just above water level, where he has actually managed to get into the door. There is a bag that has been placed over the CCTV camera there, and then he's gone all the way to the top. He has graffitied, upside down and graffitied the Pam the Bird tag, graffiti tag. Sophie, that is a really well-known tag in Melbourne, appearing on landmarks in hard-to-reach places over the last couple of years. So what are police going to do? Well, at this stage, it looks like a standoff. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. Until this graffiti vandal gets down safely.
What happened to Charlize Theron? Is this even the same person at all? And again, why are all of these celebrities looking different? Why are all of these celebrities as possible? Again, what is going on here? Because the person on the left side of your screen is the Charlize that I remember. So who is this person on the right side of your screen? Maybe it is Charlize, and maybe she just lost weight. Maybe that's all there is to this. Again, this is the Charlize I remember. Is this the Charlize that most, if not all of you, remember? So can somebody explain to me what is really going on? Because you have to admit, all of these celebrities are looking more and more different by the day. And you have to ask yourselves, what is really going on here? What is really happening? Why are they looking so different?
You guys ever heard of simulation theory?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this S that we all used to draw in school?
Yep.
Well, somehow we all figured out how to draw this thing for no reason. No rhyme or reason whatsoever. And now there's a theory on why. This is supposedly the logo for the company that runs our simulation. And somehow it's bled through into our whatever reality we live in, right? It's very strange how every single kid across the United States, maybe even other countries, was drawing this S repeatedly on a daily basis since I don't know how long ago. And ever since then, things have gotten progressively worse. This makes you wonder, like, how our brains all got systematically taken over at the same time, and why everything has gotten progressively worse since we started drawing this thing. This S Corporation is out of line. The difficulty settings are super high. Maybe, just maybe, if we start drawing the S again, we could trigger the simulation and fix everything that went wrong, dude. What if it's a portal or something, dude? We stopped drawing it. We stopped drawing it and everything got worse. We gotta start drawing the S again.
Seekers, man. I'm gonna let you know it. I'm gonna let you guys in on the fact, bro. I do not know how to draw that S, man. I tried like many times in school, bro. I drew the 3 lines. I could never get it to form that S, man. But it was like something in me. I was always trying to like form that S, but I never knew what it was. Now we know, bro. That's crazy work, man. Seekers, how many times have you guys drawn that S, bro? I know you had to at least draw it one time in your life, man. Come on. Tell me down below. Okay, he's glitching. Glitch in the Matrix, bro. At Disney World. He's acting like a robot, bro. You see his
News
movements?
story. A French teenager woke up from a 3-week coma, where she believed in her coma that she had raised kids for 7 years in an alternate life, and now she's in therapy dealing with grief counseling. Her name is Cecilia Verdier. I hope I didn't butcher that. She's 19, and she's from France. She went into a medically induced coma for 3 weeks. When she woke up, she had lived 7 years in her coma. During the 3 weeks, her brain constructed an entire life. She gave birth to triplets. She felt the pain of labor, the overwhelming wave of love holding her babies for the first time. She watched them grow up. She learned their personalities. She named them Mila, Miles, and Malay. One of the daughters was shy, the other was a bundle of energy. She remembers walks, meals, their daily life with children, raising children. And then one of her children died shortly after birth. She grieved the loss of their death inside the coma in a reality that was completely not real. So I know.
On August 16th, 2012, during a live outdoor segment on Rockefeller Plaza, weatherman Al Roker stood completely motionless for over 18 seconds. As co-hosts Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie continued talking and interacting, Roker's eyes remained locked forward without blinking. His arms stayed frozen at his side, and the crowd moved normally behind him. Nothing else in the frame was frozen. The segment continued as if nothing was wrong, with the camera occasionally cutting back to Roker, who remained completely statue-like. He didn't even react to his co-host's jokes or the movement of the crowd. The footage quickly went viral online as one of the strangest things ever to be broadcast. His body language didn't suggest that he was pausing to think or waiting for a cue. It looked entirely unnatural, as if the feed to his brain had simply been cut. Overnight, the video went viral, with people all over social media trying to understand what exactly happened to Al Roker. Well, the next day, Roker explained on air that he had simply been dared to pull a prank. He wondered how long he could hold the pose as a joke while the cameras weren't focused on him. The show's producer confirmed it was just Roker messing around, but the unsettling nature of the footage continues to circulate online as a prime example of, well, reality glitching.
Some people think Jordan Peele's new horror film, Him, isn't just fiction. Hit follow if you're ready to see the connections nobody's talking about. Officially, Him is about a football star who rises to greatness, but at a terrifying cost, involving sacrifices, occult rituals, and the dark side of ambition. Sound familiar? Well, Tom Brady's ex-wife, Giselle, openly admitted to using rituals, altars, mantras, and even referred to herself as a good witch to help Brady win championships. Brady himself said he followed her spiritual advice before every game. Was it harmless? Or was there something deeper behind his unbelievable success? The movie's plot about a legendary quarterback who mentors a young player into darkness feels a little too close to home. And the word sacrifice is used over and over again in Brady's real-life interviews. Did Jordan Peele base Him on the dark side of the GOAT's journey? In spite of the lights and trophies, what was really sacrificed? Do you think Him is Tom Brady's hidden story?
You guys,
Could it be Seekers? I didn't watch Him because, bro, I heard people, the reviews, people didn't like it, but I heard what to say. I mean, the parallels are there. The GOAT, the best football player, you know, that's Tom Brady. He's a quarterback trying to mentor somebody else coming up, and he's showing all the things he had to do to become the best, the greatest. So was Him a secret story, bro, about Tom Brady?
wouldn't be building these data centers at the rate that they are, at the scale and size of them throughout the country, not caring about public's opinions, none of that, if it was just for AI, right? Can we all agree? If they were to call it mass surveillance center or surveillance data centers, we would push back more than what we are now. So keep it safe, we call it AI data centers, right? Flock, moving on to Flock. Flock now has autonomous drones in the sky that can go up to 60 miles per hour, and it can read your license plate up to 2,000 feet away, and it could be overhead within 90 seconds of a 911 call. Yeah, and they're not going to be testing these out in a couple towns. No, they plan to have at least like 100 throughout cities by the end of this year, 2026. And there's already 3 states that are deploying these as of right now. We got California, Washington, and Michigan. And the last time I checked these flock cameras, there are about over 80,000 in 49 states. This is moving quick. But there is a deflock petition that's about to be started, or that is started. I'm gonna see if I can get a link. If I can, I'll have it in my link tree. Now's the time to get out of your comfort zone and just speak up.
This is perhaps one of the most popular, widespread, and widely known Mandela effect that has many people perplexed because it doesn't quite make sense. Unless there's some element of this that we are totally unfamiliar with and is nearly unfathomable. And I think this may be the case. So in Star Wars Episode 5, which is really Episode 2, it's a funny timeline of events. I remember it, and seemingly most people remember it, that Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father," when they're fighting in the area that looks like that. But officially, that never, ever happened. You are remembering wrong. And he actually said, "No, I am your father." And because I did watch a decent amount of Star Wars growing up, I kind of knew that that cannot be right. Like, and how does this work exactly? How does so many people remember the wrong thing? Now, people who don't understand the Mandela effect will say, "No, I checked the old VHS. I guess he actually did say, 'No, I am your father,' instead of 'Luke, I am your father.' So Mandela effect solved." That's not the case. The way the Mandela effect works is not that they're going and editing these new films. I mean, they do edit, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure in The Passion of Christ on Netflix, they took out a sequence about a certain verse in the beginning opening scene. So they do modify and edit stuff, but that's not what a Mandela effect is. A Mandela effect is that we were on a timeline where Darth Vader said, "Luke, I am your father." That's what was written. That's what the script was, etc. Then somewhere along the lines, was it 2012? Was it something else? We shifted timelines over a little bit to where now we're on a timeline where that didn't happen. And instead it was, "No, I am your father." So this isn't evidence of tinkering digitally and changing new movies, though they do that too, but that's not a Mandela effect. A Mandela effect is a shifting of timelines, which is extremely trippy, and I would hope that is for the better, because otherwise I'm thinking, are we on a bad timeline now? I don't think that, but it is shocking nonetheless. People also think C-3PO's silver leg. Many fans vividly remember C-3PO being completely gold. I do too. Apparently he always had a silver leg. That's something I might not have noticed, so I can't say for sure. Obi-Wan Kenobi's quote. Many believe Obi-Wan tells Luke, "May the Force be with you." I do remember that. During their time together, the actual quote he uses is, "The Force will be with you always." It's actually Han Solo who says, "May the Force." I do remember Obi-Wan saying that to Luke. So there could be multiple Mandela effects. And by the way, I guarantee there must be hundreds more Mandela effects yet to be discovered. So let's find some. And imagine if you're the one to find a Mandela effect that goes viral. You'll be like patting yourself on the back, man. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
These Mandela effects are getting crazy, bro. And they ain't not gonna try to gaslight me, man. I know Darth Vader said, "Luke, I am your father," bro. Because that's like a classic line in cinema, bro. And one of the most legendary lines. So they could try to Mandela effect that one as much as they want to, man. But you ain't gonna get me with that one, bro. That's just not happening.
Either I'm crazy or I've just experienced a glitch in the Matrix. Okay, so this thing, I made it. It holds all my rings. Okay, I'm packing for Canada and I'm looking for my rings. I specifically got this ring at a charity shop and I wear it pretty often. Super cute. That. And then
you got two?
that's the same ring. What the fuck? I remember buying this. I'm not gonna tell you what charity shop because I'll dox myself. But they're the same. I genuinely cannot explain this one, guys. Has this ever happened to anyone, or... I literally don't know. I'm pretty creeped out.
We're working the night shift when they see this. A man named Danny who works in construction captured an eerie video one night at a shopping center. While working on some renovations with 2 other co-workers, they notice what looks like this little girl moving oddly in a distance. A girl can be seen moving towards them as she suddenly hides in a pillar. The guys see this and immediately decide to call it a night, not daring to go towards it, as they're certain whatever that wasn't human. The haunting video was taken in the mall Galerías Laguna in Torreón, Mexico, late at night, where no one should be around, let alone a little girl. For this reason, and the way it moved, like it was floating, the men believed they caught something paranormal.
Did you guys get to see what Hawaii experienced, y'all? Oh my goodness. I mean, the Bible talks about fires in the sky being like, you know, end time prophecy type stuff, but it never talked about fire rainbows, y'all. Look at this. This is amazing, y'all. You know? Look, I got some birds coming in my, look at this. Look, the birds know, the birds be knowing. But yeah, look at this, y'all. Bro, if I didn't know better, I say God be, you know, smoking that good, bro. Look at this. I mean, what do you, look at this. You cannot tell me this is not magical. This is beautiful. Look at this. I see a lady, huh? Look. Got the nose, got the lips, got the chin. Here's the neckline over here. Look at that, right? Like a majestic being. Let's zoom in a little bit more, y'all. But look at this, y'all. Why look like those valleys in Arizona? You know what I'm saying? Those type of striations on this. But look at her. Look at the hair. Like the real meaning of ether. Y'all see that? That fire. That's amazing. That's so intense. And look how dark back here is. Y'all see that? And then towards sunset, this is what it looked like, y'all. Can you believe this? The earth is putting on a show for us. Y'all, look at these birds here in my yard, y'all. That's crazy. But oh my goodness, y'all. This is intense. This is amazing. Just look at that spectacle. This is what Dave Chappelle called magic dust. You know what I'm saying? Because it's got to be angel dust, right? The angels are doing this. Because look at this. This got to be the glory of God. This is amazing. It's like something trying to rip through here. You see it? Something trying to come through. Yeah, y'all, I don't know how to say the name is Yukamihami Maui. This is in Hawaii, y'all. This is amazing. What an amazing time to be alive. I be telling y'all this, and y'all can literally see it. Something big is about to happen. Amazing things are taking place now. And you can still see like the lady. It's like it's shapeshift, but you can still see, like, look at that. It's like ascended in a sense. But yeah, y'all, let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. Like, follow, share for more thing.
Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now that'll be a great advantage, boy. Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic. The world is round? Yes, that's right. And it also goes around. You mean it'll be round someday? No, it's round now. Man will discover this in centuries to come. And he will also find that the world is merely a tiny speck in the universe. Universe? You're only confusing the boy. No, you can't learn history in reverse. It's confusing enough, for heaven's sakes. All right. Have it your way, Archimedes. You're in charge.
Sign you.
Interesting.
$3 5 albums, but your album term might say you can't drop an album for 9 to 12 months. So if we do the math, that's some years. That's years. 4 years, 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6 years, because the average artist ain't just finna drop no album exactly on the 9 months. So it's still gonna be a stretch creating, and then while that's going on, they still gotta spend the money into you. So it's doubling down. So it's like most artists, you don't see no check from the label, but the one that you sign.
Damn. I heard, man, about those, industry contracts, but also was breaking it down for us, bro. So they only get one check when they sign, and the rest they have to deliver those albums, but it takes years. So like you said, they're basically finessing. They give you one check, and then they probably making boatloads of money off you. You only get that one check in return. That's some crazy work, man.
They are simply telling us to our face. If you don't hear it, it's because you choose not to. Listen to this.
There's a cognizance, I believe, within the intelligence community, particularly CIA, that there are humans among us that might be more extraterrestrial than human. And how do you identify them? That could be a major factor in why we're interested in that. And there's also I guess you would call contact tracing of who's who.
Right.
And so what they did reveal that there was an interest in certain families.
How would you understand families?
I understand families to mean bloodlines.
Right.
That they were interested in certain bloodlines, going back to
ancient times.
Who knows? Ancient times.
Did they mention other heritages around the planet that through this marker?
I was specifically told that the Cherokee heritage, the Cherokee Nation, had something to do with the phenomenon. And furthermore, that it has something to do with perhaps even the actual existence of Atlantis. That they may have been survivors of Atlantis.
Looks like we have our reason on what he was actually searching for. Cherokee, huh? I mean, this would explain a lot. They've been searching. This is not new. Just new to us. Atlanteans? That's why they was looking for America, huh? That's why the mold structures can't be recreated. Temporary mind. Just kidding, y'all. This video is only for entertainment purposes. But make sure to like and comment and let me know your thoughts.
Nah, they were spitting. What the hell is that?
Oh my God. It looks so dark.
A woman who lives alone in an apartment is having nightmares after capturing what I have behind my head on her security camera. She said she can't stop thinking about it, and I wouldn't be able to either. This was captured at 2:13 a.m. She woke up to the alert on her phone from her security camera, and at first it just looks like a person standing there until you zoom in on it more. And then that's when it gets really creepy. Because it's not like, oh, they were walking down the sidewalk and got caught on your security camera. They are looking directly at your door, just staring. And they almost look disfigured, which is really fucking creepy. Now, she said that this is the only alert that had it. She didn't have any other alerts throughout the night. It was just this one photo of whatever this is standing in front of her house, staring at her front door. There was no more alerts of it walking away or anything else, just this singular photo. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I would for sure be having nightmares if I caught this on my security cameras. Like, what are they doing? What do they want? And what are they?
Okay, it's old film. Supposed to represent something.
This is where just keep watching.
Those aliens?
How creepy is this entire concept? And why would anyone write a story like this? What's wild is that people have watched this and say that it mirrors real life. It makes you think about the theories regarding elite groups wanting to, let's just say, clean slate, but framed as a cartoon so they can pass it off as fiction. And what is crazy is this movie actually won a major award at the Cannes Film Festival. It makes you wonder why they would put this out and who it was really aimed for and what they're actually hiding behind the art. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
That was in 1973 too, man, so they've been putting those messages in the films for that long, man. I wonder if you go back and watch any of the old films, man. See, could you guys pick up on any of the hidden messages they had in those movies?
Some of y'all hear that music coming.
I hear it.
Y'all hear the music? Why the fuck is it music coming out of the ground?
Having a concert.
Wait. The car's going by. How was they in there singing?
Conspiracy I fully believe with my full chest is the Wayfair conspiracy, and just like everything else, I feel like we moved on way too quick, because what do you mean they were selling full-size cabinets with names named after missing children and being sold for like thousands and thousands of dollars? Literally the black market right in front of our face. I don't want to get on my soapbox, but they were also mentioned in the Epstein files.
Okay, bro.
Every time someone's like, I got my bed from Wayfair or I got my TV stand from Wayfair, I'm like, ooh, whiplash. What do you mean? I thought we were done with them. And then the celebrities all doing like endorsements with Wayfair after the fact, that don't sit right with me either. Not saying that the celebrities were like aware of what was going on with Wayfair. We all know they're just getting paid money to advertise whatever they can get money for. We're seeing my girl Kelly Clarkson doing Wayfair ads, and I trust Kelly Clarkson, so like what the hell's going on? We ever get an explanation on that? Like were they like, yeah, we were selling TV stands for $15,000 named Maria or Marie. Maybe they were selling their bed named Julie for $20,000, but something just isn't sitting right in my soul about that. So no, I will not be shopping at Wayfair. Why are you shopping at Wayfair?
It's weird, for sure.
Cooking room. I hope you cows are decent. Crap on a crutch!
Those
Ow! Ugh, my bones are so brittle. But I always drink plenty of milk.
Okay, so did y'all hear about how these scientists opened up a 5,000-year-old mummy and found something that may still be alive? So naturally, they ate it. Now, most people would naturally assume that ancient mummies are completely dead, but no, these researchers found a mummy that they estimated to be a bit over 5,000 years old with microbes inside them. Microbes that are still alive that survived way longer than anybody could even fathom. Think about that. 5,000 years, longer than most recorded history, longer than most modern civilizations. Quite literally, something endured, something microscopic endured all that time. How is that even possible? Now, scientists believe that certain microbes can enter like a severe survival state, extreme survival, where they go into like a biological hibernation, and that's how they are able to last this long. But that just makes you wonder, what else has been surviving for thousands of years that we're not even aware is currently alive right now? Because if microscopic life can last for thousands of years, what else is hidden underneath the ice, the caves, the mountains, places that we've yet to explore, in the oceans? What else is out there with full life from thousands of years ago still existing today? But the biggest plot twist by far of this whole story is the fact that the scientists decided to take it a step further and go ahead and separate the microorganisms, the yeast activated through these microbes, and make a loaf of bread to go ahead and consume. Because studying it was not enough. They wanted to taste their research. Digging up ancient remains is already wild as it is, not letting things rest, but going ahead and trying to consume parts of these ancient remains is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. But let me know what you guys think about this. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you heard this story. If you haven't, save this video, go look into it. Per usual, this is all alleged. Can't confirm or deny any information. Definitely implore you to do your research. Whatever else I find out, I'll be back. Like, follow, stay for some more tea. And if you like more interesting topics like this, grab your copy of 50 Forbidden Mysteries. Link is in the bio. Feel free to join the private group chat.
Princess Diana's friend, Christine Fitzgerald, alleged that Diana's nickname for the Windsors was the reptiles or the lizards. And she would say to Christine, in all seriousness, they're not human. Diana also supposedly called them the Germans or the Dracula family. Christine said that Diana used to tell me that the Queen Mother was evil. She actually used that word, evil. She said that she hated the Queen Mother, and supposedly the Queen Mother hated her. There's a greater conspiracy that Diana knew about the royal family's alleged reptilian genetic history and control. The information comes from the book, The Biggest Secret. Christine went on to say that Diana could talk to her about matters that she would not dare share with anyone else for fear of being dubbed crazy. They're not human. That's what she would repeat. There's a very good reason that Diana described the Windsors that way. They are cold, calculated, and controlling. Did Diana know exactly what the royal family are? Or was it simply a matter of speech? Did her knowing something cause them to do something to her? Is that what really happened? All of this is alleged.
It says the CIA had a talking dog.
I said hello, and the dog looks at me. You know how dogs do their head like that? And he goes, hello. I said, oh my God, you do talk. And he said, yeah, that's how I got a job at the CIA. I said, I work at the CIA. He said, yeah, I was in counterterrorism. I said, I'm in counterterrorism. What did you do in counterterrorism? He said, well, because I talk, they sent me to Bin Laden's compound, and I listened to what Bin Laden was saying.
Grocery
stores just officially started
Really?
rolling out a brand new AI grocery cart that has cameras on it that watches every single thing that you grab and tracks every single aisle that you walk down. These are actually Instacart's caper carts, and they've got a camera not only pointed directly at your basket, but also another one facing right at you, plus scales and location tracking built right into the handle. These carts or buggies are already in over 100 cities across 15 different states right now in stores like Kroger, ShopRite, and Wegmans. They're saying that these carts watch everything that you put in it and tracks your exact spot in the store the entire time that you're shopping. Brands like General Mills are currently paying to give you ads the second that you grab something or walk past the aisle, and it runs on AI that's trained on 1.6 billion different grocery orders. Then people asked Instacart how long they keep the footage, whether or not it's running facial recognition on you or not, and then whether you can turn it off and still use the cart, but they wouldn't answer any of it. Hello? So happening right now, they are literally putting cameras on your face at the grocery store that knows what you buy, where you stood, and how you reacted to every single ad. But nobody's gonna tell you where that's going.
They got her. They got Taraji P. Henson, y'all. And this is extreme. Because explain to me how this is Taraji. Does this look like Taraji to you? Because Taraji herself put these photos up on her Instagram. It's gone viral. The internet's blowing up and saying, what happened to her? Has she been switched out? Now, Taraji has actually responded to this, and she said, look, I'm on Broadway. When would I have gotten my face done? This is my face. But fans have noticed something interesting. They've noticed that when her face completely changed, or what it looks like allegedly, was right around the time she did The Color Purple. She did The Color Purple. After that movie, her face wasn't the same. Her personality wasn't the same. And you know who else was in that movie? Homegirl right here, who's connected to every awful person in the industry. Billionaire who screams at us to give money to things when she doesn't. And it's made a lot of people question, what happened to Taraji? Has she been switched out? Has she just got bad work? What is going on here?
During a live TV show, Brazilian presenter Silvio Santos shocked everyone when his teeth started to look terrifying. They appeared sharp and pointy. His teeth even seemed to change shape constantly, like they were trying to return to normal. It clearly wasn't bad oral health either, because this is what his usual smile looks like. But the strange part is, he wasn't the only one. Many other famous personalities had also been caught on camera with their teeth transforming the same way. All these videos couldn't be just a coincidence. Could this be a slip that revealed their true identity? In Florida, a TikToker approached a street worker who looked very unusual. His eyes were pale and cloudy, and his teeth were long and sharp. Out of curiosity, the TikToker asked if he had some kind of deformity, but instead, the man said something terrifying. He claimed he was exiled from a land beyond the ice wall, and that our realm was a prison for him. The TikToker ended the talk quickly and posted the video the next day. His viewers started connecting his words to those theories about a secret land beyond the ice walls.
Why did nearly...
So reptilian comes from the ice walls? That's a new theory I haven't heard before until today. I don't know if the TV was glitching out, man, but if it's happening over like twice, 2 times, bro, that's not a coincidence no more, man. Their teeth was changing, bro. It's happening right in front of our faces.
Every ancient civilization on Earth built pyramids. Think about it. Egypt built pyramids. The Maya built pyramids. China built pyramids. Sudan built pyramids. Cambodia built pyramids. Even civilizations separated by oceans and thousands of years seemed obsessed with the exact same shape. And that's where the mystery begins. Because according to history, many of these cultures never met, never traded, and in some cases, didn't even know the others existed. Yet somehow they all arrived at the same idea, the pyramid. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid was built around 2500 BC. At nearly the same time, the ancient city of Caral in Peru was constructing pyramids on the other side of the planet. Then there's Sudan, a country containing more pyramids than Egypt, and China has enormous pyramid tombs hidden near Xi'an, some as large as city blocks. But here's what makes it even stranger. Many of these pyramids were aligned with the stars. Not with nearby cities, not with roads, the sky. Almost as if ancient civilizations around the world were following the same blueprint, the same knowledge, or the same forgotten tradition. So the question is, did civilizations across the world somehow discover the same idea independently? Or were they all inheriting knowledge from something much older?
So the shit I'm about to tell you, you probably won't believe, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So this lady, she's an animal communicator, a pet psychic. She said she had a cat client. Now this cat, already dead. It lost its life. But she was talking to this cat in spirit. And I know how that sounds already. Listen to the story. She was speaking to this cat in spirit and asked this cat, why did she have an obsession with trucks, big trucks, before she died? I'm guessing this is what the owner wanted to know about her own cat. And the cat told her the reason she had an obsession with big trucks when she was here living on this earth is because in her previous life, she used to be a truck. You heard what I just said? So the animal psychic said to her, that's not possible because living things can't be objects, basically. And the cat told her that all things have souls. But you don't believe me, right?
And I was like, I quit. Like, this is it. This is too much. So I said to her, I really don't believe that because I didn't believe that. She said, you don't have to believe it. You can believe whatever you want to believe. And I said, Florence, this feels very wrong. And she said, what would feel right to you? And I said, I don't know, if you liked, trucks because you liked being up high, or maybe you drove a truck in a past life, but actually being a truck, that's impossible. She said, nothing is impossible, everything is possible. And I said, a truck is not a living thing. She said, who said a soul needs to be inside a living thing?
I'm not going to tell you what I believe, but I want to know what you believe. And I want to know now. Jump in the comments, let me know what you believe. Let me know what you believe.
See, because y'all believe, I guess, inanimate objects can have souls. That's something I haven't thought of. To me, I guess I'm gonna fall in the camp of, I don't know, man. That's my camp, bro. Because, bro, there have been things, man, that you just can't explain. So I'm just gonna fall in the I don't know camp, man. That's my thoughts, bro. But the cat says she was actually a truck. That's why she was a child. That's why she liked him, I guess. Interesting.
I think that's moving. I swear to God, that was moving.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
On behalf of Amy, I'd like to thank the devil.
When Tom Holland says that Hollywood scares him and that he wants to distance himself from it, most people assume he's just an actor tired of fame. But when you compare that to what Christian Bale did at the Golden Globes, thanking Satan live on stage for his role, it suddenly takes on a completely different meaning. Because they're two sides of the same coin. On one side, someone who sees what's happening and wants out. On the other, someone who's so deep inside it that he openly thanks what this industry supposedly represents. And nobody in the room reacted, almost as if everyone already understood the same unspoken rules. But Tom Holland isn't the only one who has wanted to escape. Actors like Cole Sprouse have spoken about what Disney put young stars through. Demi Lovato said she was pressured to change her body from a very young age, and other celebrities have described an environment where people who speak too much end up pushed aside or worse. And that's the real face of this industry, a system where the higher you climb, the more is demanded from you, where those who refuse are destroyed, and those who accept end up thanking the very thing that controls them in front of millions of people. Tom Holland said he wanted to live a normal life, and when someone at the top says something like that, it's not because they're simply tired of fame, it's because the price they're being asked to pay is too high, and he refuses to pay it.
Here are the 5 companies that have been sued for causing cancer. Number 1 is Starbucks, who was sued for containing acrylamide, which is a toxin that is formed when the coffee beans are roasted. Acrylamide has been linked to DNA damage and multiple types of cancer. Number 2 is Colgate, who was sued for containing lead, which is strongly linked to multiple types of cancers. Number 3 is Johnson & Johnson, who was sued for containing asbestos in their talcum powder. Number 4 is Cheerios, who was sued for containing a pesticide known as glyphosate, which has been strongly linked to multiple cancers. And finally, number 5, Old Spice deodorant, who was sued for containing benzene, which is also strongly linked to multiple types of cancers. The solution to avoiding these chemicals is by choosing natural products or using brands that offer lab testing.
That's the road we need to go down. radioactive bunker. And they still going in there? Don't get in the water, what the?
Feelings, shadow. Okay. Turn to the side. Turn to the side more, look at me.
What the?
Why? What is happening? I don't get it. Are you an alien?
Everybody is talking about these photos right now and sharing them, and there's wild theories going around from them being alien visitors to AI generation. But here's the thing, in researching these photos, when you look at AI, when it first hit, it stated that they were real, but now AI is stating that they're AI generated. So we really don't know, but it's quite interesting that there's top world leaders seem to have met with these individuals. And now this video message is now generating throughout the internet. So we really don't know. But take a look at it, comment below, let us know what you think.
People of planet Earth, please have a little more patience. You will soon be liberated.
Yeah, that has to be AI, bro. I've seen that video. Yeah, has to be cat, bro. You know, all the important world leaders, though. Or, like I said, are those the Nordics?
People of planet Earth, please have a little more patience. You will soon be liberated.
No, we won't. Not by y'all, anyway.
Richest man in China just bought a facility in New Hampshire. Now, what is he doing? He actually bought it for his beverage company for over $60 million, way over the asking price. And it's right next to what? The town's water supply. He's gathering 2 million gallons per day for his beverage company. So now the Chinese have control of New Hampshire's water supply.
Like, how do you allow a whole nother country to buy up freeways because they bought highways
in your hometown,
in your
Jersey,
hometown.
farmland highways? So the Chinese just bought the data. You know those fast lanes? What do they call them in the speed lanes? Yeah, speed lanes, right? They just bought a highway, the whole entire data, and they sold it to China. So now they own that data in the highway.
Holy crap.
How disgusting of a person do you have to be to post a video wrapping a finger after dismembering your victim? And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this famous singer, David Burke, allegedly murdered 13-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He dismembered her body and left her remains inside his Tesla, and she was found 5 months later on September 8th, 2025. The thing is, her entire body was recovered except for her ring finger and pinky, and her ring finger had a tattoo of David's name. So fast forward a few weeks later, he's on tour and he uploads this video of him wrapping this anime-looking finger on camera. And before anyone says, okay, but it's not her finger, what's the big deal? It's the timing of it. Like, how do you casually just sit there and record yourself playing with this dismembered finger, knowing what you just did to this girl's body? I've said this many times, but there is something deeply wrong with this man. He put all these clues in front of our faces like it was a game for him.
These and 2000s kids aren't just nostalgic for the past, we're grieving a world that doesn't even exist anymore. A world that vanished before we could actually experience it as adults. We experienced life outside of everyday content consumption. It was making memories, it was being present. And a special thing about creating those memories is that we used used to have boredom. Boredom used to help create creativity and imagination beyond our wildest dreams. And even though we were younger and we had less responsibilities, it was in creating those moments that became a thing of impact. That sense of freedom connect us with the real world outside of every day having to feel connected through social media and doom scrolling. Because reality check, we're consuming a whole lot more, but we're appreciating a lot less. And that's why there's so much novelty with a childhood that is gone, but it will never be forgotten.
You got any shoes or anything on you?
Facts.
Are you me, man? I'm not.
This morning, a Florida husband and father is suing multiple law enforcement agencies after being wrongfully arrested, he says, due to a flawed AI facial recognition technology.
I don't wish this on my worst enemy.
Tell you what, man, I'm gonna put you in the cuff in the front.
This is nuts.
Police body camera video obtained by our affiliate Gulf Coast News showing the 2024 arrest outside Robert Dillon's home.
I was basically telling him this is crazy. I have no idea who did this, but it's not me.
Authorities were looking for a suspect who tried to lure a child at a restaurant in Jacksonville Beach, more than 300 miles away.
To be accused of a heinous crime of that nature, I'm thinking I may not be coming back home.
Investigators submitted surveillance images of the suspect into a facial recognition program, which revealed a 93% match of facial features to Dillon. But not only was Dillon incorrectly identified, he's never even been to Jacksonville Beach.
I argued with the police officer for 20 minutes, and he insisted that I know that I'm looking at your mugshot.
Weeks after his arrest, the state attorney's office dropped the case, but it took nearly a year to wipe it from his record.
It's horrible that this AI is put in the hands of people that aren't qualified to use it.
We've reached out to all law enforcement agencies being sued by Dillon with the help of the ACLU. Only the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office responded. They're the ones who oversee the use of the technology. They said, in part, the assertion that PCSO failed to train is patently false. And they also said it was wrong for the Jacksonville Beach police officer to arrest someone based solely on facial recognition.
This guy just...
Gotta be careful, man, with those AIs, bro. That's just one case, man. That happened in 2024. It took a year for that to get off his record, man. How many other cases is going on right now because of freaking... They got the information based off a wrong AI, man. That's like I said, bro. We can't put our trust in this whole freaking system, bro. It's gonna fall apart.
shook his head. But look at this. I came back to get my phone to look at this. I've never seen a fucking car in a dumpster before. What the fuck? I don't know if this guy's gonna get it or not. Is he gonna do it? I don't know. Dude, that's crazy. There's an engine in there? The whole thing in there? It looks like a Ford Focus or something. I suppose it's not very funny when you're the guy that's gotta dump it.
Is he gonna do it?
He's really double checking if he can do this or not. Might not be a good day to get fired. Call it in? Yeah. After we determined what was in it, he's gonna call it in because there's like a gas tank and an engine and everything in it. Weird.
So my son and I are driving, and this is what we see in the sky. Like, look at those colors.
That firmament is being peeled back, y'all. The firmament is being peeled back. Just like they told you in the Bible, it's going to be peeled back like a scroll. The ancestors are here and they are working. Look at the sun's way up there too.
This whole celebrity idea is eroding. The whole fame idea is eroding. That shit was sold to us, y'all. You got people out here that are human, that are acting every day of their life. They're not even real. They just on NPC shit. Every day they acting. They don't even know the world is a stage, dog. And it's a lot of terrible actors. It's a lot of terrible actors out here. The world is a stage. There's a lot of terrible fucking actors, dog. And then I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it, dog. I'm just gonna say it. I had to tell Spice beforehand I said it, but the whole idea of celebrity, bro. If you're not a real person and you can't stand on your morals and principles out here, move out the way. You can't stand on any principles and morals out here as a person that's trying to see this world become better. Move out the way for the time being. I'm not paying attention to all the, the beefs going on or, who.
So scientists just proved that smiling is a universal language after they see grass cells smiling under the microscope when it rains. And not only under the microscope, people have also seen their plants from their gardens smiling. I don't know about y'all, but I need my food to have a smile on it too. And the craziest thing is, I'm not even surprised. This is what the creator, God, left the blueprint, putting a signature on it. Designed the code for happiness to be a smile. Even see our pets like cats and dogs. If you got them, you know that they smile when they happy. For the people who skeptical, why does this look like a smiley face? It could have been any other geometrical shape, but it's a smiley face. Because obviously the plant is happy that it's getting water. There are literally dozens of Bible verses that tell you to be happy. Like a tearful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up bones. Remember, God didn't give us a spirit to be sad and depressed. He told us to be happy. Even the plants know it. I'll let me know y'all thoughts on what y'all think about plants smiling under the microscope in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. If you want to learn how to put a smile on your face because your content is making you money, comment down below hub and I'm sending resources in your DMs. Smile, nigga.
Smile.
But it's an invisible person, and they're tickling her.
Imaginary friend, maybe?
Stop. And I pray so much, it can't be no bad spirit in here. 'Cause I pray so much over this house.
Hey. You play with your granny? You play with your granny?
Her granny?
She is really interacting. Oh my goodness.
This artwork that was found in Jeffrey Epstein's house is incredibly disturbing. So this was actually in Epstein's mansion in New York City, and as you can see, this is a sculpture of a bronze bride hanging by a rope. All this is coming from the New York Times, and immediately when I viewed this sculpture, I was just overcome with a sense of dread. Clearly you can see that she does not look happy, and she almost looks like she's trying to escape something. Also inside of the mansion, Epstein had photos of he and Ghislaine with Pope John Paul II, Mick Jagger, Elon Musk, Fidel Castro, Richard Branson from Virgin Airlines, President Bill Clinton, which, let me just tell you, this picture is so eerie. And even a signed dollar bill gifted to Epstein by Bill Gates. Now, there were also photos of Epstein with Saudi officials like Mohammed bin Salman. And in the office, Epstein had a green first edition of Lolita, the 1955 novel, in which an intellectual develops a sexual obsession with a 12-year-old girl, which obviously provides evidence for the blackmail thing. I mean, you can clearly see these cameras mounted in rooms that in a normal house would not be there.
When the elite fully take over,
crazy.
This is what the future is going to look like. Listen.
The year is 2067. Nobody can afford to move out anymore, so you live with your kids and your kids' kids in your $14,000 a month, 800 square foot, 3-bedroom apartment that's owned by BlackRock. Right? You just got back from a long day of working at your government-mandated filming of Beast Games on Amazon Prime, sponsored by Palantir. That's how you afford your groceries at your local Lockheed Martin supermarket. You're still 20 years away from retiring. Eggs are $32 and the federal minimum wage is $10. There's a Tesla microchip planted in your head that you need to be able to vote, but you can only afford the basic monthly subscription, so you still get Papa John's commercials pumped directly into your eyeball every hour on the hour. Shaq is still the face of the company. They used AI to download his subconscious and repurpose it for commercial use, so they own the rights to him. Technically, you're leaving tonight to go on a camping trip for the one day you get off every week. The national park closest to you was bought out by Microsoft decades ago, so your ticket to entry is part of a Microsoft Suites package. Don't worry, teams can still reach you out there. You better leave soon. It's going to take 5 hours to get there. There's citywide gridlock and no public transport in every single major city across the U.S. For the working class, at least, the top 1% get the private jet and helicopter everywhere because they don't want to sit in the traffic. It's 124 degrees out. The ozone layer doesn't exist anymore, and neither do bees or glaciers. Florida's underwater. We're still at war in the Middle East, but don't worry. Starbucks just came out with some new summer refreshers. OnlyFans Orange and Prize Picks Peach are 176 grams of sugar, and vegetables are only for the mega wealthy. But you're on Ozempic, so you can sip on 3 of them while you doom scroll AI-generated content and slip into extinction.
There's a theory.
That's scary, bro. Imagine if that's actually the future, man. It sounds horrible, bro. Everything's freaking overpriced. the elite have everything, have all the access to all the resources, but the working class still struggling. I don't like that.
That the Hoover Dam is secretly a demonic throne and that the government put angels there to cover it up. When you go to the Hoover Dam, you're gonna see something really odd. There's a spot that has 2 giant winged statues made out of bronze. They look like angels, right? They are technically called the winged figures of the Republic, but this is the weird part. No one officially says what they are. They're not angels, they're not demons, they're figures. And that's not random. There's actually a floor underneath them that is a cosmic map. It shows the exact alignment of the stars the day that the dam was completed. Like they wanted like aliens or gods to find this later. You'd think it's just some like artsy little design, right? But the guy who made that design said that this is specifically supposed to last for thousands of years. Like that design was supposed to outlive our civilization. And this is where it gets a little darker. People also call this place the throne of the devil. But why would a dam need a cosmic star map and then 2 20, 30-foot bronze guardians? And then all of these like occult looking type symbols. Well, get this. So over 100 workers died while building the dam. And some people do believe that their bodies were sealed into the concrete and that they were considered to be sacrifices to bless the sculpture. And then on top of all of this, the location of these statues don't really make any sense. Like, why would they have these big designs at a power plant? And if you're religious, you also have to remember Satan was originally an angel. Another crazy thing to note is that the Hoover Dam has been featured in dozens of end-of-the-world movies, disaster scenes, and games. It has always been the center of destruction and secret technology. And then it's like, is that a coincidence, or is it programming for us to see it as the key to something? Even the name Hoover comes from a president who was involved in major US power shifts, literal power and electricity. And this makes you wonder if the government is trying to hide in plain sight. Massive monuments with spiritual symbolism built into them. Government approved, celebrated, protected, and most of us never even question it. So when you pass by and you take a little selfie, you don't even realize you are standing on what some call a throne. But the question remains, a throne for who exactly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow for more.
I don't know about you, but myself, in my lifetime, I don't recall ever seeing so many wildfires, floods, earthquakes, and everything else in 1 year. It just seems more and more consistent with biblical times. Currently, there are multiple wildfires taking place in the state of California in the United States.
Again?
Take a look at this video. Take a look at this. These fires have currently burned over 70,000 acres at a time. Just look at this.
Scary sight.
So far, close to 4,000 people have been evacuated due to these out-of-control wildfires in California. And the sad news is, so far to date, 14 people have passed away due to these fires. The scary part is, as of right now, these fires are zero contained. We are very grateful for the men and women on the front line fighting these fires. So my question to you is, why are they having fires again? What is causing all of this to continue again and again in the state of California and around the world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
I've said it before. What the is going on with Jenna Ortega, y'all? When I did a video on this last time, people was like, oh, you tripping. Now people see what I'm talking about. Like I said before, her whole facial features is different. Her whole facial structure is different. Point in case. Look at it, y'all. Look at the major difference. And one thing I really want y'all to pay attention to is look at her eyes.
Okay.
You can see that they're way different now. These eyes look like she been through some shit. It look like that light is being dimmed. Look here. She look hella innocent, y'all. She look a little younger, but she look hella innocent. This one look like she finna morph into something, if you know what I'm talking about. Everything about this picture of Jenna Ortega looks crazy. And it's from my perspective. So y'all let me know down below in the comments. What do you think about this? Bam, boom.
Here's some...
See, because what do you guys think, man? We knew Jenna Ortega, like, she blew up after Wednesday and a couple other things she was in, but she just, like, skyrocketed, so... I mean, maybe, you know, when people get that level of fame, it changes people's perspective on things.
The creepiest videos on the internet, part 10. The popular American rapper XXXTentacion was murdered on June 18th, 2018, and his death broke the hearts of many. Many people visited his memorial to leave gifts, but some people captured much more. The YouTube channel The Fam recorded a video trying to communicate with this beloved rapper, but accidentally captured this. But someone else got a lot more than this. The YouTube channel Selva the Explorer got to speak with him through her spirit box. Here's some things he had to say.
What is your favorite song that you ever recorded? What's the name of your favorite song? Are you in the white light? Is there anything else you want to tell us?
Australia has just made history after launching their first orbital rocket ever. And it lasted 14 seconds before brutally crashing. Well, at least it was a day for it. But it's not only the company behind it, Gilmore Space Technologies, considered it a massive success. Because not only is this the first ever Australian-made orbital rocket to be launched from their home country, but it was also the first launch of any orbital rocket from Australia in more than 50 years. And afterwards, the company shared a statement on their Facebook which had resounding support from men all around the world. And it said, "We hit every objective even with only 14 seconds of flight. And all in time to clock off before smoke off."
Oh, if you cheating, Instagram is not gonna let you cheat in peace. They're about to blow your shit up. I'm probably gonna be the first person to let you know this, so do not shoot the messenger. Instagram just did an update, and let me say this, I do not approve of this update. Look at this shit. They just made some shit called Maps in Instagram, and as you can see right here, you see that? When you click on that button, you can see everybody that you're following, any place that they are at. Oh, you ain't believe me, right? Look at this shit right here. You see my face right there? You see this right here? You see this right here? All of those are posts from people that I'm either following or follow me, and I can look on that map and see exactly where they are. A lot of y'all are gonna be in a lot of bullshit with this new update. And then Instagram got the nerve to ask you to tell your friends about this so you can know their location. So the best thing you could do is you better turn that location off. Because if you tell somebody, I'm going to this place, and they look on this map and see that you was somewhere else, you're going to be in a lot of bullshit. And the shit get wicked, because if you zoom in and actually look, you can see exactly where a person is. That means a person's house, a person's car. You can see anywhere a person is at that moment. And you see my shit right there? You see it says not sharing, right? But if you look on that map and you zoom, you can see exactly where I'm at. That's not good. Instagram is about to get a lot of people on some bullshit. But you heard it here first. But like I said, please don't shoot the messenger. I'm out.
Please turn off that share location apps on Instagram if you haven't, man. I did that as soon as I saw that. I was like, nope, we ain't doing that over here, man. Instagram trying to get people caught up, bro. People having your location? Nah.
World first, scientists have unlocked a new sense for computers, scent. robots now know how to smell. Essentially, the teleportation of scent. We've already successfully digitized our senses of sight and sound by turning what we see into digital form, like JPEGs, what we hear into MP3s, and putting it all together into videos, like this one right here. Capturing our real-life visual and auditory senses and turning them into ones and zeros that computers can understand. That's what it means to digitize something. Big surprise, I'm not actually inside of your phone, but I've digitized an audio-visual representation of myself so that I can, in essence, teleport my appearance and my voice to devices like yours around the world. Osmo Labs adds a whole new dimension to how we communicate and interact with anything online by adding our sense of smell into the mix. The researchers took purple peaches, also known as a plum, mashed it up and captured its scent molecules inside of a vial. A machine then sucked the air out of this vial and used AI to analyze those molecules and map out its scent profile on a molecular level. Using this blueprint, they can print this scent anywhere in the world as a clear liquid that smells exactly like a plum, officially giving computers a new sense and allowing us to teleport smells on top of images, video, and audio over the internet. And I think we can all see how things are going to end up when we can start smelling our messages in the group chat. Other than that, there are still some pretty mind-blowing applications for this. We'd be able to digitally store a library of our favorite scents that we can access at any time. The luxury fragrance industry would likely go out of business, as we'd be able to perfectly clone every designer cologne and perfume that exists. Virtual reality would add an extra level of immersion into their worlds, bringing us one step closer to perfect simulations and fulfilling simulation theory. And above all, computers will now have a new sense that they're able to experience, letting us know how good or bad we smell, and combined with generative AI, we may even be able to create our very own sense from scratch with a couple of text prompts.
I don't know what's going on with the weather, but something bizarre is going on. It should not be this cool for August. You know, August is supposed to be the dog days of summer, right? So what is going on? Why is it so cool for August? And it's not just in my area where I live. It's in multiple locations. It's been cooler than usual. And July this year, at least in my area, felt like August weather. Like it was extremely hot in August. So what is really going on? It really feels as if something major is coming. Something major is happening. And I know I can't be the only one that feels like this. I know I can't be. I know there has to be others out there that feel like I do. What do you think about this? There's something weird going on. This is the
Any of you guys seek as temperate, where you at the temperatures fluctuate? In July, man, I was having some heat waves, bro, so I don't know. August is kind of feeling like it's cooler, though. Something to keep in mind.
First driverless truck fully delivering supplies across the USA. This is going to take away millions of jobs from truckers. Kodiak Robotics just deployed the first fully autonomous freight trucks operating without safety drivers in West Texas, hauling sand through 100-degree heat and dust storms on 21-mile dirt roads. These trucks use 12 cameras, 4 LiDAR sensors, and 6 radar units to navigate completely on their own, while major companies like IKEA and Tyson Foods are already using them for daily freight deliveries. The most terrifying part? Kodiak can retrofit any existing truck into a driverless machine in under 6 months, meaning millions of trucking jobs could vanish overnight. 3.5 million truck drivers in America earn their living behind the wheel, but these autonomous trucks never need brakes, never demand raises, and never call in sick. By late 2026, Kodiak plans to have these driverless trucks operating on every major highway, completely replacing human drivers for long-haul freight. While you're worried about AI taking off as jobs, robots are already stealing blue-collar work that millions of families depend on to survive. The trucking industry employs more Americans than any other profession, and artificial intelligence just made them all replaceable.
There's a woman that was caught selling tamales made of human meat. Bro, you're not gonna want to eat street food anymore. She would take homeless people, lost kids. Now, she had a stand and she's selling tamales. It was a huge hit. Everyone came to her stand. They loved her recipe. But then she started running out of meat because she ran out of money. You know, she wasn't well off. One day she saw this little girl that was lost. She decided to that lost little girl to her home, bro. And then, you know what happened? What? Business started booming. How? Imagine not getting sick from the tamales. People started saying the recipe tasted so good, tasted a little bit sweet, and it was very unique. Crazy. What she ended up doing, she went on a spree and kidnapping over 50 people. Using their putting it in the food, bro. She was running this for a long time. So how did she get caught? Because there has to be a point where a man got sick and threw up, and she did get caught. Okay, so this is how she got caught. There was a gas leak in her building, and then they went to go inspect it. It wasn't a gas leak. It was the smell of rotten corpses.
I apologize for the jump scare, but the video at the end is way worse. This is Lucy, a giant fake Loch Ness monster that was actually put in Loch Ness to trick people. In 2005, a whole bunch of Scottish people, they decided to prank people in Loch Ness and make this giant 30-foot long, this is so disgusting for people with submechanophobia, aka myself, and yeah, this is disgusting. They made it in 2005 and they tricked people and they put this thing out there before sunrise. They put it in there at night. To scare people, and this is what it looks like. And at daytime, people were like, oh my god, the Loch Ness Monster is real, and it's not. It was just this monstrosity. Here's another photo of it underwater. That is disgusting. And I know the Loch Ness Monster isn't real, but like, would you consider it a dinosaur? Would you put it in the same category as a dinosaur? Because I'm definitely tagging this under dinosaur. And yeah, this is kind of what, like Nessie looks like. No. This is some guy that worked on it in the water with it, and that's how big it is in comparison, which it's 9 meters long, which is around 30 feet. It's disgusting. The full documentary about the building of it and the tricking of the people is actually on YouTube. It's about an hour long. It's called Loch Ness Monster, The Ultimate Experiment. It is fascinating. This is what bro looks like. Watch this video and let me know what you're thinking. And is this freaky or not?
I wonder how many people, bro, they got with that. You know they got somebody with that, bro. It's too realistic. Just imagine seeing that, bro. See, you caught the Loch Ness Monster.
It's weird that, the Gates family or Bill Gates owns a lot of the, land in North Dakota. I think that's weird. He owns the majority of the water in the United States. I think that's weird.
He does?
Whatever. Weird. This to each his own. This is for informational purpose only. But at the same time, it's just like when you go to the grocery store and you see certain products that are on there that.
Did you hear about the janitor who peed inside his co-worker's water bottle and infected everyone with STDs? Imagine this. You clock into work every morning and fill up your bottle using the water dispenser at the office. But little do you know, you're actually drinking someone's urine. This all happened in Houston when employees at a medical office began noticing that the water dispenser had a sour taste and smell to it. This weird taste and smell was going on for days, and mind you, people were still drinking this water despite the nasty smell and taste. But one employee decided that she was done drinking this water, and instead she began bringing her own water from home. Of course, there were days she didn't finish all her water and left the bottle in her office overnight and then drank it the next day. But it wasn't long until this employee began noticing that the water she brought from home also began having a disgusting smell and taste. She finally decided to do something about this when her co-worker offered to make her a coffee and used the water from her bottle, and they noticed that it smelled like urine. So at this point, these two employees spoke to the doctor at the facility, and they agreed to do a urine test on the water dispenser, and it came back positive. Now that they knew someone was urinating in the water dispenser, they wanted to find out who this psychopath was, so they set up a hidden camera in the office, and you won't believe what they saw. They caught the janitor, 53-year-old Lucio Diaz, unzip his pants, put his thing inside a bottle, and urinate inside. He then put the cap back on the bottle and returned it to the same spot it was. The employees went straight to the police, and when Lucio was questioned, he admitted to everything and said that he did it out of malicious intent. But this horror story doesn't even end there, because Lucio then told police that he had a sickness. When police asked him to elaborate, he told them that he had STDs and chlamydia. 13 employees had a panel of STD tests performed a few days later, which came back positive for herpes, which is something they never had. This evil man was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but he was only sentenced to 6 years in prison.
Not enough, man.
You never knew. The last one was shocking. Research showed that dog owners would rather hang out with their dog instead of go out and hang out with other people. Only 1% of people can do this. None of you can completely spell your name one word at a time in the comments below without being interrupted. Human sleep is much more bizarre than we think. Not sleeping can lead to death faster than not eating, according to research. And 1 night of sleep loss requires 4 days to recover. Would you rather lose 2 of your fingers or kiss the 3rd person who appears when you click share and then move? Sometimes houses in Montana get buried by tumbleweeds. If you Google cha-cha slide and click on the microphone on the right, your Google page will actually start doing the cha-cha slide. Go try it and then come back and let me know if it works. Before we get to the last fact, please support my page by following me for more interesting facts every day. Scientists were able to implant fake memories into the brains of snails, allowing them to recall experiences they've never had. This could be a good thing or a bad thing for the future of human biotechnology.
This is the scariest dinosaur that ever walked the earth. Most people probably think that the Tyrannosaurus Rex is the meanest, scariest dinosaur out there. But that's actually wrong. This is the Spinosaurus, and it lived 100 million years ago. The Spinosaurus was way bigger than the T-Rex.
It was?
Measuring at over 50 feet long and weighing anywhere from 7 to 20 tons. These guys are most known for the 5-foot-tall spine on their back, as well as their 6-foot-long alligator-like mouth. And just when you thought this couldn't get any worse, in 2014, scientists discovered that many Spinosauruses spent a lot of time underwater, meaning that if this thing was chasing you down, there would be nowhere to hide.
No escape from the Spinosaurus Rex.
The first person to live forever is already alive, at least according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who explains it with irrefutable logic. It starts with someone that was born in like the past year or so. Our test subject, call him Johnny Boy. The reason Johnny, or any of us, age is because our cells are constantly dividing, making fresh copies of our DNA in each new cell. Our DNA is packed into chromosomes, and since DNA duplication isn't perfect, the tips of these chromosomes are slightly trimmed on every replication. Sort of like making a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. The quality slightly degrades each time. To protect against this, our chromosomes have something called telomeres on their tips, which essentially contain junk DNA data that we can afford to lose. But even these telomeres are finite. They get shorter and shorter on every duplication until at some point they're fully gone. Then the cell stops dividing, gradually loses its function, and withers away. The more this happens in our cells, the more we age, and our bodies experience age-related characteristics. Scientists like David Sinclair are currently getting really close to reversing this process in human cells. He's developed what he refers to a chemical cocktail that can reprogram the way our cells are read to sort of fill in the blanks from these imperfections in our DNA replication. The science behind it is quite extensive, and he ran tests on lab mice that were incredibly successful. Having mice born at the same time, with one looking visibly older than the other, says that human trials are planned to start within the decade, and it's just a matter of time before we start seeing success in that. So where does this live forever come from? Obviously, the first version of this cocktail won't be perfect and may extend human life to, let's say, 150 years. Now remember our test subject, Johnny Boy? In 20 years, he'll be 20, at which time we're almost guaranteed to be undergoing human trials at the very least, if not already publicly available. This life potion is given to Johnny so that he can live until 150. The claim states that by the time Johnny is 40, we're almost guaranteed to make enough advancement to double the anti-aging cocktail so that now he can live till 300. 20 years later, when he's 60, the potion will be improved so that he can live till 500 years old. By the time he's 80, he can live till 1,000. These numbers are all arbitrary, but the general principle still holds up. Even if we start seeing diminishing returns in the improvements of this concoction, Johnny has already hacked his way into living forever. He can already live till 1,000 at this point, so even if it takes 100 more years to improving the medicine to living till, say, 2,000 years old, he'll live until then and take it, constantly outliving the improvement curve of anti-aging until they've cracked the code to the million-year potion, at which point Johnny Boy is essentially immortal, which means one of two things absolutely must happen in our future. One, we colonize other planets, or two, we stop having babies. If people are living forever and no longer dying, our population will continue to grow and just grow and grow. At which point we either need more space to put people, like other planets, or we gotta stop making people. So unless we want to sterilize the entire human race, living forever probably isn't a good idea until we figure this multi-planetary business out.
This bird eats almost
That's crazy.
nothing but bones. This is a lammergeier, and it's a scavenger, meaning it eats animals that are already dead. But instead of going for meat like everyone else, this Satan sweetie goes for bone and bone marrow. Since they have stomach acid that will probably make your hand see-through, they can swallow entire bones without flinching. But if a bone is too big, the bearded vulture will pick it up, fly up to 500 feet in the air, and then drop it down to the rocks below. If it hits somebody and takes them off the census, that's just a bonus. Since bone marrow is like crack to this bird, they'll drop the same bone from the sky up to 50 times just so they can get a taste. And sometimes the lammergeier will violate tortoises by literally airdropping them hundreds of feet until their shell shatters. According to legend, Greek playwright Aeschylus became a Twitter bot after a vulture airdropped a tortoise from the clouds right onto the back of his head. Okay, double homicide. Also, this flying Grim Reaper isn't a natural redhead. They get that color from rubbing iron oxide-rich soil on themselves like war paint. They do it on purpose. We just don't really know why. Also, the biggest ones have a wingspan of more than 9 feet. For reference, this guy's is a 7'3". Moral of this video, dinosaurs never left. They've been here the whole fucking time.
Really? I don't know. A bird that just eats strictly bones? Kinda hard to walk my mind around, bro.
Bone-chilling animals you'll be glad to hear are extinct. Part 1. The Titanoboa was the largest snake to ever exist. They were over 50 feet long, 2,500 pounds, and killed their prey by squeezing them like a modern-day boa constrictor. The Gigantopithecus roamed Asia until about 100,000 years ago. They were over 10 feet tall, but luckily, they're vegetarians. However, this doesn't mean that they didn't use their massive strength against humans who tried to attack them. The Arthropleura lived 300 million years ago. They're very similar to modern-day centipedes or millipedes, however, they grew up to 9 feet tall and had little to no predators. The Mosasaurus were massive sea creatures that grew up to 50 feet long and had heads very similar to crocodiles. They had hundreds of rows of very sharp teeth, making them the most dangerous sea predators. Like and follow if you want to see part 2.
Also, Caesar best friend.
You never knew. The last one is shocking. When the inventor of the Frisbee, Walter Morrison, died, he was cremated and turned into a Frisbee. If your friendship lasts more than 6 years, psychologists claim it'll last a lifetime. Your true love is the second person that appears when you click on share, slide all the way down, and click more. In 2018, a pig in Australia stole 18 beers from a campsite, got drunk, and then tried to fight a cow. No one can comment under this video and get 0 likes. If there is a comment with 0 likes, that means they are the chosen one. Dysania is the state of a person having difficulty getting up in the morning. Want to know that one thing you're missing right now? Type I miss or I need down below and let your keyboard finish the sentence. Before the last fact, support me by clicking on the follow button for more interesting facts every day. A woman named Valentina Vasilieva and her husband Fyodor had the record for having the most children ever, 69 of them. She gave birth to 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets, for a total of 27 births. I don't know how she did that.
This true story about a young boy's paranormal experience will freak you the fuck out. If you don't believe in paranormal, just wait. So a 4-year-old boy who lived in the U of the K, the land of the sheep, had an apparent imaginary friend, a tall, kind, older woman, and he would commonly sit on the family steps of the home talking to her late at night. Now the parents didn't see anything wrong with it, so to be honest, it's pretty normal having an imaginary friend at this point. However, one day the young boy goes to his parents and tells them something that she told him to tell them. It was an address, a location, which no one in the immediate family recognized. However, a couple days later, while drinking a nice cup of tea with a longtime family friend, they were informed that this address was the house in which the dad's mother had grew up in as a child, because unfortunately she had passed away long before the 4-year-old was born. Now let me stress, this house hadn't been visited in decades. The boy nor the parents had ever gone there in their entire lives. So how did he know the address? So now the family are kind of freaked out. They're thinking, what is living in our house? Because there's no way the 4-year-old should have ever known this. Because even the parents hadn't ever gone to that house. Oh, one more thing about the story. The 4-year-old boy was actually me. You won't believe what happened next.
It was him, so he knew what was going on in his house? Was the ghost communicating with him? That's the only way.
Horrifying facts about demons part 2. Click the plus, drop a like, tag a friend, or you might become haunted. If you fall asleep on your back, you actually have a higher chance of having sleep paralysis. Women actually have more nightmares than men do. 12% of people actually dream entirely in black and white.
The United States has just dropped a metaphorical nuclear bomb on India. Because right before the weekend kicked off, Trump signed an order that sent the tech industry into chaos. He announced a $100,000 fee on a visa for skilled foreign workers. And if you look here, India represents a staggering 70% of those approved on this visa. In fact, the entire rest of the world
combined doesn't even come close. It's called the H-1B visa, and it was created in 1990 in response to a labor shortage in America. And since then, applications have been steadily growing. In fact, approvals for the H-1B peaked in 2022 when over 442,000 were accepted in 1 year alone. Now remember, those on the H-1B visa are educated and talented and have a median wage of $118,000. You need to hold either a bachelor's degree, master's degree, or higher. Because of that, they contribute an estimated $86 billion annually to the economy and pay a combined $35 billion in taxes. However, Trump argues that there's a big downside to this. He says that Americans often lose out on job opportunities because large American employers like Amazon, HP, etc. take advantage of these visas and hire foreign workers that are willing to accept lower wages. But not everyone agrees with Trump. Many point out that some of America's best and brightest were once on these visas and then eventually turned into CEOs of Google, Microsoft, Zoom, Tesla, hell, even the First Lady of the United States. And not only that, but there's also the argument that many of these employers turn to these visas because they can't find enough qualified American workers to fill the same job. But the question is, in 5 years' time, what do you see happening? More American jobs filled by Americans, or a slump in American competitiveness and innovation?
Tell me down below.
If you haven't been following her story, let me catch you up. In 2024, 15-year-old Celeste Vivas Hernandez was reported missing from her hometown of Lake Elsinore, California. Her whereabouts remained a mystery until earlier this month, when her remains were found inside the trunk of a Tesla. Police received a report of a foul smell coming from this car, which had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills in California. Neighbors said the car had been there for about a month, so police went, inspected it, brought it to the impound lot, and upon inspection, human remains were found in the trunk. They had been wrapped inside a bag, and authorities believe that the body was put in the trunk about 5 days before it was towed to the impound lot. The victim was identified as 15-year-old Celeste, and her cause of death has been listed as deferred, meaning the investigation, testing, and autopsy is ongoing. It has been discovered that the vehicle was registered to singer David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke. A search warrant was executed at a Hollywood Hills address associated with David, and police said several items of evidence were recovered, and then investigators are following several leads. However, 20-year-old David has not been charged or named a suspect. He has been on tour, and he has since canceled all his remaining tour dates. The investigation into Celeste's death is ongoing. There are rumors that they were together, that David got her pregnant, and tons of other crazy theories, but we don't know if any of this is true yet. Police have not come out with any of this information, and for now, the investigation remains ongoing. There was a candlelight vigil for Celeste last night, and dozens of people showed up in support. Rest in peace, Celeste, and hopefully you will be getting justice.
Hi, I'm Kim. This is the Woodburn family murders. Mark Gago used knives, an axe, a sword, and guns to murder 4 family members in a gruesome rampage. On January 19, 2020, police received a call from Pamela Bremer at a rural home in Southern Oregon. On the call, Pamela told the dispatcher, "I have got the baby protected. Nobody's touching the baby." She told the dispatcher that her son had broken somebody's neck and that she needed somebody now. 5 minutes later, Mark Gago, her son, threw a knife at her. She was holding the baby. Police didn't enter the house until an hour after the call was made. They finally went in and they found 64-year-old Pamela and 9-month-old Olivia Gago brutally murdered. Mark had also murdered his stepfather, 66-year-old Jerry Bremer. He also killed his girlfriend, 31-year-old Shayna Schweitzer. Police said they found Shayna dead with a bloody shovel at her feet. Pamela and baby Olivia were on the floor nearby with massive head trauma. They walked down a dark hallway to find an overturned wheelchair and the headless body of Jerry Bremer. One officer told detectives that it looked like somebody had a blower with like red paint and just coated the walls. There was a glimmer of hope when they heard the voice of an 8-year-old girl.
What made him do that? The world is crazy. Yeah, middle of the night, went pitch black.
On August 18, 2010, Ben McDaniel, who was 30 years old, walked to the end of the pier, put on all of his diving equipment, and jumped in the water. He slowly descended 115 feet and came to a stop right in front of a very famous underwater sign. The sign very clearly tells anybody who sees it, do not go any farther unless you are absolutely certain this is the right thing for you to be doing. If you go farther, you're probably going to die, like the 300 other people that have died doing this particular activity.
He swam right past that sign and went 300 feet to the very famous underwater locked gate. Now, the only people that have keys to this are extremely experienced divers, and even they don't typically go into this area because it's so dangerous. Ben was not one of the very experienced divers that was given a key, but he still desperately wanted to get to the other side of the gate. So he's sitting there yanking on the gate, and he's getting himself kind of pushed inside halfway through the gate, and he can't quite get it open. And another diver saw him doing this and was actually concerned that Ben was going to get trapped on the gate itself and would just drown on the gate. And so this diver comes over and uses his key and maybe against his better judgment opened it, thinking that that was better than him getting stuck on the gate. Ben turns to look at him, gives him a nod, thank you, and he, on his own, swims into one of, if not the single most dangerous underwater caves in the whole world. It's called Vortex Spring Cave. From the locked gate, this cave extends another 1,600 feet and goes down to a depth of 310 feet. The majority of this section of the cave is mapped, but there are sections that are not fully explored because they're so narrow where you have to literally take off your gear, wriggle through a hole, pull your gear through and put it back on, all the while you're barely holding onto your mouthpiece. And so really the full extent of this section of the cave is not known. While we don't know exactly what Ben did when he went through that gate and entered into this extremely dangerous cave, we do know that he didn't come out again. And after a couple of days and no one had seen him, they launched this massive search for him, and they combed as much as they could of inside of that cave, but there were sections that they were just not prepared to go search. And so he was never recovered. All they ever found were 2 of Ben's dive bottles.
I apologize for the jump scare, but the video at the end.
Stay away from those areas.
This is Lucy, a giant fake Loch Ness monster that was actually put in Loch Ness to trick people. In 2005, a whole bunch of Scottish people, they decided to prank people in Loch Ness and make this giant 30-foot long, this is so disgusting for people with submechanophobia, aka myself, and yeah, this is disgusting. They made it in 2005 and they tricked people and they put this thing out there before sunrise. They put it in there at night, to scare people, and this is what it looks like. And at daytime, people were like, oh my god, the Loch Ness Monster is real, and it's not. It was just this monstrosity. Here's another photo of it underwater. That is disgusting. And I know the Loch Ness Monster isn't real, but like, would you consider it a dinosaur? Would you put it in the same category as a dinosaur? Because I'm definitely tagging this under dinosaur.
I would.
And yeah, this is kind of what, like Nessie looks like. This is some guy that worked on it in the water with it, and that's how big it is in comparison, which it's 9 meters long, which is around 30 feet. It's disgusting. The full documentary about the building of it and the tricking of the people is actually on YouTube. It's about an hour long. It's called Loch Ness Monster, The Ultimate Experiment. It is fascinating. This is what bro looks like. Watch this video and let me know what you're thinking. And is this freaky or not?
Pulled off the ultimate prank, bro, building the Loch Ness Monster. Just to trick the, I guess, believers. That's crazy work, man. Imagine somebody saw that, bro. They would think that's real, bro. That's how realistic it looks. You couldn't tell the difference between a conspiracy and not. I found it, bro. Like booking them, bro. Somebody chased
A
them.
mom was accused of murdering her precious little 3-year-old girl pictured here a few days ago. Reportedly, Lauren was a mom with 3 children, and she was accused of fatally stabbing her 3-year-old little girl named Sophia. Sophia was her oldest daughter. She stabbed her in the front yard of their home in Moore Park Beach. This was on Monday, May 26th. So just under a week ago. Authorities received several calls from neighbors about the stabbing, but unfortunately, the little girl was deceased when emergency services found her, and that was right before 5 p.m. that afternoon. Lauren was then taken into custody and charged. A knife was also seized that police say was the murder weapon. There were also said to be 2 other children who were ages 1 and 2 at the home at the time of the murder, but luckily they were not harmed. They are now being cared for by family members. According to reports, Lauren had posted several odd and eerie messages on social media in the days leading up to killing her daughter. She reportedly shared a video of a woman with bruises on her arm, and it was captured, "Remember your pain as it fuels your purpose." She also included lyrics from the heavy metal music group called Disturbed, their song Prayer, which said, "Another nightmare about to come true will manifest tomorrow, another love that I've taken from you." In other posts on social media, she referenced training like it's war, I'm not sure what kind of training, and being a warrior of light. She then captioned a photo of her children, calling them her divine babies. And other posts were said to have been about past trauma that Lauren had gone through. So it definitely sounds like she had some mental issues going on in the days before she killed her daughter. It's not yet been reported exactly how she died just yet, but it's always just really strange when people die when they're in custody or in jail. For more updates into this case and other true crime news, make sure to hit follow and subscribe over on YouTube.
In a truly awful story, a 5-year-old girl was stabbed and strangled by her own mother whilst heartbreakingly screaming, "But I've been good," in an attempt to save her life. 5-year-old Nicole Towns from Texas was killed by her own mother, 37-year-old Melissa, who claimed she didn't want to deal with her anymore. She even admitted to detectives herself that she ignored her daughter's pleas to save her life by crying, "But I've been good," instead telling her not to fight her. Documents show that she drove the child to a wooded area before slitting her throat. When that didn't kill her, she put a plastic bag over her head to suffocate her before strangling her to death. In a turn of events, she actually drove to hospital with Nicole's body in the car. She went inside the hospital and asked the nurse to assist her daughter, whose body was hurting, only for nurses to meet a tragic sight, seeing the girl with plastic wrapped around her head and her throat cut. It still remains unclear why she had the child in the first place, as it's reported by local outlets she didn't have legal custody. She has been arrested and her bond has been set at $15 million.
After reading about what happened to Danny Santulli, I don't know why more people aren't talking about it. Last year, Danny was an 18-year-old freshman at the University of Missouri when he suffered severe brain damage from alcohol poisoning during an alleged hazing incident. On October 19th, Danny, as well as all of the other pledges to the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity, were seen on security footage being blindfolded and led downstairs for a ritual known as Pledge Dad Reveal Night. Danny was then pressured to drink an entire bottle of vodka by himself. At 10:55 p.m., Danny is seen collapsing onto the floor, where frat members then carry him to a sofa. A little after midnight, Danny is seen sliding off the couch and onto the floor. 30 minutes later, a few frat members found Danny unresponsive and lips blue, but instead of calling 911, they pick him up and load him into a car, but not before dropping him. So they drove him to the University of Missouri Hospital, but he was already in cardiac arrest. Thankfully, he was resuscitated, but Danny spent the next 6 weeks in the ICU. He's back home with his family now, but he will need care for the rest of his life. He completely lost his vision, and he's in a wheelchair, unable to walk or talk. Seems to be a clear case of severe hazing to many, but so far, the Boone County Prosecutor's Office won't enforce the state's anti-hazing law. In fact, only one frat member was criminally charged in this case, and it was 2 misdemeanors for supplying alcohol to a minor. The University of Missouri has ejected the frat from campus and has sanctioned 13 frat members over the incident, but Danny's family wants criminal hazing charges to be brought. An online petition was created to hopefully ensure that this happens and that the case is investigated properly. The link is in my bio if you'd like to sign.
He was just trying to fit in, and look what happened, man.
Thing that ever happened to America. We all know that America had a lot of scary things happen to it.
True.
But this has to be the scariest thing ever. On August 29th, 1968, every single TV in America shut down.
Whoa.
But a demonic whispering was coming from every TV in America. Many people believe that it was the devil trying to get across some message. But nobody really understood it. This lasted for about 25 seconds, then all the TVs came back on. To this day, nobody knows what caused it or why it happened, but everybody believes it was the works of the devil.
Trying to get a message out? What the hell?
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. There's an 8-year-old boy named Amarjit Sada who became the world's youngest serial killer after murdering his 6-year-old cousin, his baby sister, and a neighbor's newborn daughter.
What the?
The CIA has a legitimate heart attack gun, and it was exposed to the public in the late 1970s. Project Sunshine was research conducted by the US government in which, after the atomic bombings on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a network of agents was recruited to locate recently deceased children and steal their body parts for testing on radiation.
Both the US and Russia use dolphins and whales to spy on various countries.
What?
Facebook was forced to shut down 2 artificial intelligence robots named Alice and Bob because they started communicating with one another in their own language. If you ever win the lottery, you're 120 times more likely to be killed by an immediate family member.
Scary facts you
Ain't that
wish you
sad?
never knew. In the 18th century, you could pay admission for the London Zoo by bringing a cat or dog, and then feeding it to the lions.
What the
Ever wondered why bus seats have that strange pattern? It's designed so you can't tell how dirty the seat really is. Ever wondered why your dog likes the sound of chew toys? It's because they remind your dog of a small animal squealing as it's being eaten. When you ride the subway, 15% of the air you breathe is human skin.
What
That's
the
because skin cells drop off people and have nowhere to go. All of the laugh tracks you hear on TV were recorded in the early 1950s. This means you're hearing the laughs of people who are no longer alive. According to the FDA, the average American eats a pound of insects every year. These are normally mixed in with other foods during the processing.
These facts, man, that we're learning, we gotta take that and try to incorporate it in our daily life, seekers, man. I try to spread that knowledge. Tell me down below, man, if you guys write these facts down, as you guys hear them. I try to, man.
If you see Hello Kitty, you need to run fast. Hello Kitty was created in Shanghai in the 1970s by a lady whose daughter had cancer. Doctors told the mother there was nothing they could do and that the daughter would pass away. The mother went to hundreds of churches to try and save her daughter, but nothing worked. She became so desperate she turned to devil worshipping and satanic rituals. She made a pact with the devil himself, and if he healed her daughter, he wanted one thing in return. The devil wanted her to create a cartoon character that would appeal to children around the world so they would be tricked into worshipping the devil. When her daughter recovered from cancer, she kept her promise and created Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty was designed with no mouth because her daughter had mouth cancer. And the ears of Hello Kitty represent the devil's horns. And the word kitty translates to demon in Mandarin, so when you say Hello Kitty, you're actually saying Hello Demon. And they say that anyone that buys Hello Kitty merchandise is inviting the devil into their hearts.
Don't buy Hello Kitty merch.
Scary fun facts until the Orbeez overflow. There are microscopic mites that live in your eyelashes. Being buried alive happens so often on accident that they've now invented safety coffins. In the 1800s, dentures were made with real teeth from the deceased. Radio station UVB76 has been broadcasting since 1982. All it does is make creepy noises and nobody knows where it's broadcasting from. Chainsaws were originally invented for childbirth. The final part of Mount Everest that you have to climb is known as Rainbow Valley. They call it that because all you see is all the different colored jackets from the frozen hikers. And it looks like I'm out of time. Follow for more fun facts.
These facts exposing our reality, bro.
If your baby starts acting like this, it may be warning you something's watching you. A woman uploaded a disturbing video caught by her Ring camera. A strange event with her baby. While alone in her house, she can see her footsteps coming from the living room. And while her baby's looking at someone or something in the other room, this happens.
Alright. Baby could sense things.
It sounds like a child's voice can be heard coming from the living room. Shocked on what she's hearing, she tries to ignore it. But it wasn't until her backdoor motion detector went off that she would realize something wasn't right. After this, she looked all over her house, but couldn't find anyone. Could it be her baby was able to see someone or something she couldn't? Or is it just something else?
What do you guys think on that one? Was that like an edit, or was that baby actually just picking up some bad energy, man? You know, sometimes kids and stuff, they can see things before adults can. I'm open to all theories. That's a weird one right there.
These are facts that will make your skin crawl, part 1. Up first, did you know that women can actually give birth after death? It's extremely rare, but it's called coffin birth. Up next, everybody has definitely heard of the 5-second rule and probably applied it in your life at least once. But did you know in those 5 seconds, minor insects can still crawl on your food? After you drop it on the floor, pick it up and then eat it. Up next,
I don't
if
do
your
that.
black cat looks at you and then suddenly runs away, it means that something unusual is about to happen to you. So if this happened to you recently, then I recommend just staying in your room and not leaving. Finally, did you know that a cockroach can live 9 days without its head before it starves to death? This is absolutely crazy. And as weird as this sounds, I have to see it to believe it.
Me too. Our cockroaches are
Blood-curdling facts
invincible.
that you wish you never knew. Part 27. When 14-year-old George Stinney was executed via electric chair, he was too short for the chair, so he used his Bible as a booster seat. He was later found out to be innocent. In the 1600s, Athanasius Kircher invented a musical instrument made out of cats. He would place them in a row according to the tone of their voice, stretching their tails under a keyboard made out of sharp nails. Texas had absolutely no regulations on natural gas until 1937, when a school blew up, killing 295 students and teachers. No one was held responsible, and the event was so bad that even Hitler sent a letter of condolence.
What the? Good thing we regulate gas now. Don't want that happening
Everyone goes on
again.
about Jack the Ripper, but do you know Mary Ann Cotton? She was wild. Mary and her husband William had 5 kids, but they would sadly all die of the stomach flu. So they had more kids, but sadly within a year, 2 of the 3 would die of the stomach flu. So her husband takes out a life insurance policy on the family, which at this point just makes sense, but he too would succumb to symptoms relating to the stomach flu. In the 1800s, people were often malnourished, they were exposed to like everything, and so dying of the stomach flu or gastric fever was like the go-to diagnosis. However, the symptoms of the stomach flu are suspiciously similar to the symptoms of arsenic poisoning. Mary played the part of mourning mother perfectly while she poisoned their tea and collected their life insurance checks. Mary would kill 11 of her 13 children, 3 of her 4 husbands, her mother, a stranger's baby, 3 of her 4 stepchildren, her sister-in-law, her secret lover. They all died of gastric fever.
Damn. And it goes that far back, man. It goes to show you, man, when money's involved, even if it was that long ago, man, it doesn't matter the time, man. When money's involved, people do anything and everything, man, just to get it. She did all that, man, just for some money. She took everybody close to her. Where are we coming to, man?
The 3 most dangerous countries in the world. Number 3. South Africa. This country is known for its breathtaking natural beauty, but don't be fooled by the looks. Behind the idyllic landscapes, South Africa faces persistent challenges in terms of crime, including homicides, armed robbery, and assaults. The country has reported a homicide rate of 34 per 100,000 residents, according to South African police statistics. Number 2, Venezuela. Venezuela is grappling with serious crime issues, including high rates of homicide, theft, and kidnappings. According to the Venezuelan Violence Observatory, the country has recorded a homicide rate of 56.3 per 100,000 inhabitants. Traveling in certain areas can pose a real risk for both visitors and residents. Before revealing the number 1, remember to subscribe and like the video. Number 1, Honduras. Honduras is often regarded as one of the world's most dangerous countries due to gang-related violence, organized crime, and drug trafficking. The homicide rate is approximately 56.5 per 100,000 residents, according to the Violence Observatory in Honduras. So, would you dare to visit any of these countries? Which one? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.
This penguin is almost the height of an adult man, and these penguins you could punt like a football. So you're probably thinking to yourself, why? Why the size difference, not why you punt them like a football. I mean, that one's pretty obvious. Look at them. Well, buckle up, because it's time to learn you some science. There's a trend seen through species across the world that colder environments will evolutionarily select for larger body sizes. And it's called Bergman's Rule. Write that one down, it will be on the tech. Let's look at a bear. This is a polar bear. It lives in the Arctic. And this is an Andean bear. It looks like a toy factory misprint and lives in the Andes. Have a look at that size comparison. This here is the Andean bear, or spectacled bear. This gigantic, terrifying thing is a polar bear. And if you look at the names and regions of all these bears, it's actually a phenomenal graph of Bergman's Rule. As the astute of you have already guessed, that is exactly why we had so much megafauna during the Ice Age. I hear some of you say, Milo, but elephants exist and they're in Africa and it's warm there. Elephants are just the last remaining member of a myriad of tusked pachyderms that arose during the Ice Age. Despite being big, they're smaller than a mammoth.
This is what happens when one of the deadliest animals in the world gets a taste for humans.
So back in 1898, the British started building a railroad bridge over the Savo River in Kenya, and they employed several, mostly Indian workers over an 8-mile area. But what they didn't realize was they had accidentally wandered right into the territory of one of the top predators on the planet. Because over the next 9 months, 2 maneless male lions would stalk the workers, and when they would return to the campsite after a long day, the lions would sneak in and literally drag the workers out and maul them into a statistic. And eat them. And at first, only 1 lion at a time would enter the campsite. But eventually, the 2 male lions started catching bodies together as a team. The crew tried to break this kill streak by putting up a thorn fence. Told them a motivated Simba can jump 11 feet in the air, so the lions easily cleared it. In only 3 months, 29 workers had been put in an ashtray by the hungry lions, to the point where the other workers started to panic and leave the construction site. So the head officials responded by bringing in hunters to evict the lions from the area, and you know where it goes from here. Cowie's looking down at him. He knows how this movie ends. Late one night, the lions allegedly broke into the hunter's cabin where they mauled one hunter, dragged him outside, and that was the night his name got taken off the census.
Damn.
Eventually, the 2 lions were shot and put out of commission, and it took 9 rifle shots to drop the second one. Eventually, the railroad workers finished the bridge, but it cost over 130 men and 2 lions to do it. And the number of men lost was an estimate, because apparently lions don't leave a lot of their victims behind. And with all the bodies the lions caught, the workers might have built the track, but the lions ran the train.
That damn dangerous. Why would they? They had no, well, back then, no, I guess, sense of security or something like that, man. If that happened after 2 workers, man, they still stayed there, and they caught that many bodies of lions, and they still stayed there. I would have been out as soon as you heard those 2 workers in the line. Nope, I'm out. I can't do that. Damn. Goes to show you how it really was different back in the day.
My sister did this to my tongue when we were younger.
Hello, my friend. That looks more like a fissured tongue rather than scarring caused by injury. A fissured tongue is a condition that causes the tongue to crack like this.
Ooh.
Interestingly, the cause of the fissured tongue is still unknown. I think the assumption now is that it's caused by vitamin deficiencies or genetics.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a medicine guy. The only reason I'm even responding to this is because my father actually has a fissured tongue.
In the 18th century, you could bring your dog or cat to the zoo and pay your admission by feeding them to the lions. These are scary facts you wish you never knew. Part 1. There's an antidepressant that eliminates somebody's ability to feel love and compassion.
Dangerous.
Even if your phone is using incognito mode, Wi-Fi routers still keep logs of what websites you visit, and the owner of the router could check this whenever they want. In 1963, the Bronx Zoo had an exhibit. It was called The Most Dangerous Animal in the World. It was a mirror. You got 12 hours to eat every hot dog in there for $1,000 each.
Ooh.
You can pick 3 friends to help you. Who are you choosing? Let me know down below. A man had went to the doctors complaining about discomfort and a stroke. When they checked, they found an octopus living in it. It was surviving off all the food he was eating and absorbing it. It turns out the man had went to a sushi restaurant and had eaten a live octopus. It's a delicacy in South Korea. It decided to move in instead.
Whatever you do, never go
Crazy.
searching for this video. These 5 friends were forced to kill each other by the Mexican cartel. These 5 young, aged from 19 to 22, were looking for some sort of employment, and they were promised a high-paying job at a call center. But when the alleged contact was taking them to meet the people for the job, it actually turned out to be a whole scheme to recruit them to the Mexican cartel. And when all 5 of these boys said they didn't want to join, the cartel then said okay and tied them up, taped their mouth and took a picture, and then recorded one of the friends killing all the other 4 friends.
Damn.
And after that, they put the 5th one, who just killed all of his friends, into a car and set it on fire. I'm telling you right now, do not go searching for this video because you will find it. And trust me, you do not want to see something like this. This case is absolutely horrific, and the fact that this happens way more often than we think is just extremely scary and disturbing. It's just sad that these young men were just trying to get a job and make some money for themselves. But instead, it turned into a living nightmare. Rest in peace, these 5 young men.
Rest in peace, man. It's a crazy ass case. That's an edit.
Iron Eyes Geeks presents Light Out. Everybody.
Skinwalkers again? that a damn horse? What the?
This isn't a normal horse. I've looked up a weird situation like this. It's actually a skinwalker trying to form itself like an animal.
Hello.
What the fuck? What the hell? What are those, bro? Is that Spanner looking at him?
Well, it was only a matter of time. That is a species of longhorn beetle. There's like 35,000 types of whatever the hell this is, but this comment says it's a chirping longhorn, so I'm gonna just go with that. Longhorn beetles are famous for two things. Number one, they do not like to be touched, which is why they usually sound like Satan's plumbing. And number two, they're incredibly dangerous. But not to us. Because these beetles are one of the biggest ops a tree can have. Since their larvae feed on plant tissue, they often destroy trees from the inside. Adult longhorns will actually girdle the tree branches to turn it into a nursery for their children. Which is why the Asian longhorn beetle is one of the worst invasive species in America, since their kids end up killing more wood than erectile dysfunction. In the United States, this longhorn hell spawn is a threat to a third of the urban tree species, which ends up costing us, get this, over $600 billion in damage.
Damn.
You might be wondering how something so destructive even ended up here in the first place. That's easy. Us. Basically Ubered them here. They were accidentally introduced to the US and Canada in 1996 through woodpacking material shipped from Asia. And the bastards have been walling out ever since. Oh, and they can fly. Cause why the not?
It's expensive ass ops, bro. The trees got costing them that much money. It said 600 billion, and we brought them here. Hey, we gotta take better care of our the ecosystem, man, because we don't want it to collapse on itself, man, or get out of control. It's actually crazy. The more you know, man. The more you know. YouTube, that's it, man, for this video for you guys today, man. If you guys made it with me to the end, I greatly appreciate the support, man. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, man, hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I upload a video. I drop daily, but just have that bell on just in case, man, because you never know. Also, follow me on my social medias down below, man, like I said, so we could grow a community and we can always stay in contact. You can hit me with a DM, ask me any questions, anything and everything. You guys gonna catch it in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.